Hey, welcome guys. Hello, my name is Jason Gorenstein, and this is our Hatha Yoga Level 1 class. This is for Tuesday, June the 9th, 2020, 6 a.m. to 6:55 a.m. So if you missed the class, you can feel free to join in on this class just to begin to watch and enjoy. So without further ado, let us begin our practice. We're going to begin our class in Child's Pose today, and just begin to allow your breath to become long and slow. So as you feel ready, taking yourself into Child's Pose, extending your arms forward of your chest, releasing the head all the way down. And just breathe here. So taking a few breaths, releasing the head all the way down towards the mat. Just letting the eyes close here. Seeing that the breath is long and slow. And just continue to breathe into the hips, the thighs, and the hamstrings here. As you seal down through the fingers, inhale, peel up the chest and the heart and the sternum. Find your way into tabletop pose. So as we take tabletop pose, see that the palms are in front of the shoulders. See that the hips are in line with the heels. Wrap the outer arms in. Firm the triceps in here and spread the fingers wide apart. So as you spread the fingers wide apart, press down through the fingers. Inhale, begin to peel up the chest. As you exhale, begin to round the spine here. Good. And once again, inhale, peeling up the chest. Exhale, rounding through the spine. And one more time, inhale, peeling through the chest. And exhale, rounding through the spine. So as you come back to neutral position here, just see that the right hand presses down. See that the left knee presses down. See that the left hand presses down, and begin to float the right leg back. As you float the right leg back, lift from the right inner thigh crease. Feel the right outer hip hugging in. Feel the right heel lengthening to the back of the mat. Pressing down through all 10 fingers here, wrap the outer arms in and hug the belly in here. Good. As you exhale, release the right knee down. Inhale, float the left leg up. So again here, you'll flex through the left foot. See that you continue to lengthen through the chest, heart, and sternum. Wrap the outer armpits in and continue to hug the navel in here. Good. And as you exhale, release that knee on down. So now, as you feel ready, pressing down through the feet, inhale, floating the knees on up, taking the thighs back, finding your way into downward facing dog pose. So in downward facing dog pose, we release the head on down. We spread the fingers wide apart and see that the head is releasing all the way down towards the mat. Allow the forearms to move forward as the shin bones move back. Allow the heels to lengthen all the way back towards the back of the mat as you lengthen the fingers all the way forward to the front of the mat here. Good. Now from here, you'll begin to walk the hands back towards the feet and find your way into a forward fold. Release the head on down. Take the right thumb, bring it into the left thumb crease. Take the left thumb, bring it into the right elbow crease, and release the head on down here. Allow the weight to travel from the heels to the toes. Allow the inner feet to lift on up. Allow the head to release on down. Breathe here as you continue to elongate the back body here, lengthening through the chest, the heart, the sternum. And then take the hands to the hips, press through the balls of the feet, inhale, lift the chest, and find your way to standing. Come into a standing pose, Tadasana. Sorry, I'm going to change the camera angle just a little bit. Good. There we go. All right. Come into a standing pose, Tadasana. So see that the fingers are about hips width distance apart. See that the palms are spread wide apart. Allow the chest to open up here and breathe. We're going to come through an Ardha Vinyasa here. As you inhale, float the arms up towards the ceiling, raising up through the fingers. As you exhale, hinging through the hips and folding all the way down. Inhale, lifting through the chest, heart, and sternum. As you exhale, lean the weight all the way forward. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way up towards the ceiling here. And as you exhale, bring the hands back down into the sides. Again, inhale, raise the arms up towards the ceiling. Exhale, hinging at the hips and folding forward here. Inhale, lengthening through the chest, the heart, the sternum. As you exhale, releasing the torso on down. Inhale, spinning the palms on up towards the ceiling, palms touch. As you exhale, release the hands down to the sides. Take the hands to the hips, bend the left knee, glide the left foot in. See that the left foot comes to the left shin or the right thigh crease. Press the left foot into the right thigh. Press the right thigh into the left foot. Bring your hands back to center. This is called tree pose. As we take tree pose, press down firmly through the right foot. Allow the right outer hip to hug in. Allow both buttocks flesh to lengthen down. And breathe here. As you exhale, take the hands to the hips. Release the left leg on down and come back to center. We're going to take the right knee to a bent position, spin the right heel out, glide the right foot up to the left shin, and potentially even to the right thigh crease, or the left thigh crease rather. As you press the left thigh into the right foot, bring the hands into the center chest. See that the left thigh presses towards the foot, see that the foot presses towards the thigh, and breathe here. Continue to hug the left buttocks in. Continue to feel both side ribs lengthening to the armpits here as you continue to breathe. Good, and as you exhale, release that right leg on down. Come back to Tadasana pose, being here for a moment, continuing to breathe as you lengthen through the chest, the heart, the sternum. Excellent. So we're going to take our hands to the hips and step our feet wide apart. We're going to turn both of our feet out into external rotation. So the left foot turns in slightly, the right leg turns out 90 degrees. Hands are still on the hips here. As you press through the feet, feel both side ribs engaging here. Feel both sides ribs lengthening. And then begin to hinge at that right hip as you lean the right side of the chest forward here. Good. Inhale, peeling on up. We're going to do that 2 more times. This is called dynamic movement. As you exhale, gliding the chest on down. Inhale, floating the chest on up. 1 more time. As you exhale, gliding the chest on down. Good. Take the right hand, place it on the right shin. Take the left hand, place it on the left hip. And glide your left arm all the way up towards the ceiling. Draw the right arm back, lift through the left fingers, and breathe here. Keep pressing through the toes. Keep drawing the outer thighs in. Keep lifting through that top arm. And as you continue to breathe here, inhale, float the left arm up, hands come back to the hips, and bend deeply into that right knee. As you bend into the right knee here, lift the toes up off the mat. See that the right toes lift up. See that the right knee bends to 90 degrees. Float the arms out to the sides. So the right shin is moving towards the right calf. The right thigh is moving towards the right hamstring. Both arms are extended out to the sides and you're breathing here. This is called Warrior 2. And then from here, hands come to the hips and straighten through that leg. Good. Turn your feet back to center. Turn your feet over to the other side. So we start just by bending into that left knee, right? And lifting through those left toes, just to get a nice little bend deep in that knee. And then we'll straighten that leg. Hands are at the hips, and then we hinge on down. So bring the left side of the chest down towards that hip. Inhale, lengthen on up. Bring the left side of the chest down to that hip. Inhale, lengthen on up. 1 more time, left side of the chest comes down to the hip. Glide the left hand down. Float the right arm up and breathe here. So see that both feet are pressing down. See that both inner legs are lifting up. Right outer hip is turning down. Right side of the chest is lifting up as you breathe here. Glide the right arm up. Let the right arm lift us up and out of the pose. Turn both feet in. And then once again, step the feet back towards one another. As you step the feet back in towards one another, open the palms out to the sides here. And breathe. So see that the fingers are lengthening. See that the inner knees are lifting up. See that the inner thighs are lifting up. And open through the chest. Inhale, float those arms up towards the ceiling. Urdhva Hastasana. Interlace the fingers here. Press the palms all the way up towards the ceiling here. This is called Badangoyasana. As you raise the fingers up towards the ceiling here, feel the fingers pulling away from one another. So continue to notice that the outer arms are wrapping in. Feel the forearms lengthening away from one another. Feel the chest softening down towards the frontal hip points. So the rib cage is long here as you lengthen through the back of the spine. As you exhale, glide those hands down and reshape the hands so you move the fingers over 1 step. Inhale, extend the arms forward in front of you. Take the arms all the way up towards the ceiling here. Again, as you press down through the toes and the feet, inhale, begin to float those arms up towards the ceiling. Lengthen through the back ribs here. Allow the belly to hug in. Allow the chest to lengthen on up. Spread the fingers wide apart and continue to breathe here. Continue to breathe, continue to breathe, continue to breathe. Then take your hands back to the hips, step the feet wide apart, and come back to wide stance posture. So once again, we're going to turn our feet over to the right side of the room. We're going to take our arms out to the sides, and we're going to hinge at that hip. One more time, we're coming back into Warrior Two pose. So as we come back into Warrior Two the second time, once again, feel the feet pressing down. So the right ball of the foot is pressing down. The right shin is moving towards the right calf is moving towards the right shin. The right hip is moving towards the left heel. Allow the left heel to press down as you draw the left hip forward. See that the right side of the chest begins to revolve towards the left side of the chest here. And once again, raise that arm up. Warrior Two pose as you bend into that right knee. So bend into the right knee, lift the right toes up off the mat, and continue to lengthen through both arms. So see that the left arm is drawing back, see that the right arm is drawing forward, and breathe here. Good. Hands come to the hips, straighten through the right leg, and turn the feet in. One more time, turn the feet out to the other side, and we find our way into triangle pose. So in triangle pose, your left heel is aligned with your right arch of the foot. You glide the left hand down the leg, right hand's on the right hip, and then you inhale, extend the right arm up towards the ceiling. So press down through the toes of your left foot, press down through the heel of your right foot, and continue to breathe here. Keep lifting through the right fingers here. Keep lifting through the right hand. Now, as you continue to lift up, see that the feet are pressing down. So first start with your alignment. So feel into the alignment of the pose. The left heel is in line with the right arch. The left hip is drawing back, right hip drawing forward. The chest is lifting up. Then we work through the stabilization. So both legs are revolving towards one another. Feel the belly drawing in. Feel the arms extending from the back ribs. And then eventually the elongation. So the legs press down through the earth. The hands extend through equal and opposite directions. And then the crown of the head releases on back slightly. Inhale, lifting that right arm up. Bend into the left knee and find your way into Warrior Two pose. Warrior Two pose here, straightening through the left leg. Arms extend up towards the ceiling. Interlace the fingers here. As you exhale, hinge at the hips and fold all the way forward. Take the hands down to the earth. Release the head down. Walk the hands back here as you come into Prasarita Padottanasana A and release the head down. So the head is releasing down towards the mat. Again, first you stabilize yourself. So stabilize yourself through the feet. Feet are parallel here. See that the weight is even in the feet. See that the calves are moving forward. See that the thighs are moving back. See that the chest is moving forward. Then we stabilize. We stabilize through drawing the legs towards one another. We begin to feel the arms pressing down and lengthening the chest. Then we elongate. We elongate by pressing down through the feet. Maybe our legs grow a little bit longer. And as we release the head on down, maybe the weight of the shoulders releases the chest down towards the mat. Take the hands to the hips, press through the feet. Inhale, lift the chest on up. And then heel toe our feet back together as we come back to Tadasana pose. So standing mountain pose. Interlace the fingers at the center chest. Press the palms forward in front of you. Take the arms all the way up towards the ceiling here. As you reach the arms all the way up towards the ceiling, glide the chest over to the right side of the room. Good. Find your way back to center and glide your chest all the way over the left side of the room. Find your way back to center. Inhale, look up towards those hands as you breathe. As you exhale, hinge on forward and release the hands down to the earth. So now we come into forward fold, and please consider taking your feet a little bit wider apart, especially if you have any issues in the low back. Take the feet wider apart. Interlace opposite elbows here as you release the head on down and breathe into the torso. So see as you press down through the feet. First you align. Feet are parallel. Feet are hips width distance apart. See that the weight is even in the feet. Then you stabilize. You stabilize here by pressing through the feet. You stabilize here for feeling that sense of groundedness through the feet. And then you elongate. You let the elbows interlace here as you lengthen through the trunk of the body. Get even more extension here. Hands come to the low back. Inhale, peel up the chest. Find your way back up to standing. Good. One more time, come back into Tadasana. From Tadasana, we take the hands to the hips, we step the feet wide apart again, and we turn both feet out to the right side. This time we bend into that right knee again. So once again, as you look, you stabilize first through the feet. So you see that your left foot is turned in, you see that your right heel is turned out, heel to arch alignment. You can even lift the toes off the floor. So you feel, well, first you align. First we align, that's our alignment. You draw the right outer hip in, you draw the left hip back and breathe here. Then you stabilize. So now you feel the pressing through the feet, you feel the legs aligning towards one another, you feel the inner thighs wrapping in, and you feel the chest. Then you elongate. So then we extend the arms out to the sides. We feel the feet rooting through the earth. We feel the arms extending through the sides, and then we breathe here. Now we hinge at that right hip. Bring the right hand down inside the leg. Take the left arm up towards the ceiling. Turn the left hip down. Lift the left arm up and breathe here. As you breathe here, keep lifting through that left arm. And lean the head back slightly here. Good. And as you feel ready, you inhale, lift that left arm up, bend into that right knee, and straighten through that right leg. Hands come to the hips here. Turn your right foot in, turn the left leg out. So again, we start with our foundation. So you start with your alignment. Is your left foot or left heel in line with your right arch of the foot? Is your left foot turned out slightly? Is your right foot turned slightly in? So these are actions that are very important, especially in the beginning of our practice. Once we take note of those, we begin to feel our feet pressing down. So once we feel our alignment, our hips drawing forward as we bend that knee, so we feel this alignment in the body. The knee bends to 90 degrees, the sit bones are releasing down to the earth, the chest is lifting up. Arms extend out to the sides. So now we feel our stabilization. So we stabilize through our legs. So feel the feet pressing down, feel the heels pressing down, especially here. The left outer hip is drawing in, the right thigh is pressing back. These are all stability factors in the legs. Then we elongate. So we feel those legs pressing down and we feel the elongation through the arms and through the chest. You'll take the left hand inside of the leg. You'll extend the right arm up towards the ceiling here. So continue to hug the left buttocks in towards the midline of the body. Again, alignment first. So we align through our feet, drawing the knee towards the center plane, drawing the hip in. Then we stabilize ourselves. So as you stabilize, feel the feet pressing down. Feel the thighs lengthening here. Then you elongate through that right arm, the right side of the chest, the left side of the chest. So elongation is eventually the last part of the pose. Inhale, lifting that right arm up. Straightening through the left leg. Turning the feet back to center here. As you exhale, forward fold. Release the head on down. So one more time, we're back into our Prasarita Padottanasana pose. This time we're going to take our hands and we're going to place our hands on our hips. You're going to interlace the fingers right behind the backs of the knees and lift the arms all the way up towards the ceiling here. This is called Prasarita Padottanasana C. So as you take Prasarita Padottanasana C, feel the feet pressing down. Feel the inner kneecaps lifting up. Feel the chest lengthening on forward. Feel the thigh bones pressing back here. So continuing to breathe here in this pose, wrapping those outer arms in and lengthening through the chest. Again, you'll lift the chest up, heart up, sternum up, and raise the fingers up towards the ceiling as you interlace the fingers. As you exhale, bring the hands to the hips and step your feet back together, back into Tadasana pose. So we always come back to Tadasana pose because this is our foundation pose. The feet continue to lengthen towards the front of the mat. The kneecaps continue to lift up. The thigh bones continue to press back as we breathe here. So keep seeing that the thigh bones press back. Keep seeing that the hip bones release on down. Keep seeing that the breath continues long and slow here. Inhale, float the arms up above the head as you exhale. Bend the knees, bend the knees, bend the knees. Utkatasana. Exhale, forward fold here. Release the hands all the way down to the earth. As you take the hands to the knees, inhale, lengthen through the shins and the chest. As you exhale, fold forward again. Bend the knees, bend the knees, bend the knees. Utkatasana, chair pose again. Press through the feet to straighten the legs. Release the hands down to the sides. Okay, so again, we're going to find our way back into a wide stance pose. Take our feet wide apart again. Okay. And from here, we're going to turn both of our feet one more time over to the right, and you're going to bend into that right knee. So as you bend into the right knee, feel free to lift those toes up off the mat. So first, before we even bend the knee, see that your right heel is in line with the left arch of the foot. So that's first our foundation. Alignment is always first. Right knee aligns with right shin, right hip aligns with right knee, left hip turns in slightly. Then we bend into that right knee. So as we bend into the right knee, I'd recommend lifting the right toes off the mat, creating flexion in that leg and allowing for a strong right leg here. Good. So now you're here. The left hip is turned in, the right hip is drawing back. Then you extend the arms out to the sides. This is elongation now. We're elongating through the sides of our body, elongating through the left arm, elongating through the right arm. Now straighten through the right leg. Again, hinge at that right hip and release the right hand down. Maybe this time you got a little bit longer in the pose. So we align ourselves to our feet, seeing that the right knee is in line with the right shin, right hip draws back. Seeing that the left heel is in line with the left hip. Seeing that the sternum continues to lengthen to the crown of the head. Then we stabilize ourselves. So we stabilize by pressing down through our feet. Feeling our feet pressing down. We feel our right calf drawing towards the right shin. Feel the right thigh lengthening to the right hamstring. Feel the left thigh pressing back. So this creates stability in our legs. Then we feel elongation. So as we lengthen through the chest, you may even begin to feel the right side of the chest lengthening a little bit longer than the left side of the chest here. The left palm extends up towards the ceiling here. You continue to lengthen on up and maybe even look up towards those left fingers. As you inhale here, raise that left arm up. Hands come to the hips, bend that right knee, and turn your right foot in. We're going to do the same thing to the other side. So let's start with our alignment. Our alignment starts with the heel to arch in the feet. The left heel aligns with left knee, left hip, aligns to the right arch of the foot. So that's the very beginning of the pose. Then from here, as you feel ready, you're going to bend into the left knee here. And you're going to take that knee to a 90-degree bend. So I'd recommend lifting the left toes up off the mat. See that right hip turns in. See that the left toes lift up, and breathe here. And as you breathe here, extend those arms out to the sides. Press that right heel down. Turn that right hip in. Extend through both arms. Good. So keep lengthening, keep lengthening, keep lengthening here. And as you extend through both arms, keep pressing that right heel down. Now you elongate. Feel that elongation. So stabilize through the feet. Feel the legs drawing in. Feel the chest lengthening up. Elongate through the arms. Elongate through the crown of the head. Straighten through that left leg. Hinge at that left hip. And glide your left hand down the leg as you extend the right arm all the way up towards the ceiling. So first we start with alignment. And we shouldn't have to change too much in alignment in this pose. Really just allowing for the left hip to draw in and the right hip to draw back slightly. So you press down through the right heel. That's really it. Minor alignment details here as you lengthen through the right arm, right side of the chest. Now as you stabilize, this is a little bit more, you're going to let the left calf come towards the left shin. You're going to let the left outer hip draw towards the right heel. You're going to allow for the right chest to lengthen up over the right arm. Right arm lengthens over the right chest. And then from here, then you elongate. So now as you press through the feet, you begin to feel the rib cage lengthening to their armpits. You begin to feel the right arm extending any amount higher towards the right fingers as you breathe here. Keep lifting up. Let the body lift up. Bend into that left knee and find your way back into Warrior Two pose. Good. From Warrior Two pose, we straighten through the left leg. You turn your feet in. And then as you exhale again, you fold all the way forward. So again, we're in Prasarita Padottanasana. Now this time, Prasarita Padottanasana, you take the hands and you just place the hands on the low back. And you release the head on down. So once again, we align ourselves first. So see that those feet are parallel. The feet have to start out parallel. And you want to see that the weight is drifting from the inner feet to the outer feet. So the inner arches of the feet lift up. Shins, or calves draw to shins, thighs draw to hamstrings. Let the chest come forward. Then you begin to elongate. So once you feel stable, then you can elongate. Let the chest lengthen forward. Let the heart lengthen forward. Let the body weight travel from the heels to the toes.
Then you begin to, stabilize. Second is stabilize. Feel the legs hugging in towards each other, almost as if you had a giant block in between your legs, and the right leg is hugging in towards the left leg, and the left leg is hugging in towards the right leg, and you can feel both of those legs hugging in here as you release the head on down. Keep those kneecaps bent slightly. Allow the calves to move towards the shins. And then as you press down through the feet, lift the chest, find your way to standing. Take your feet back towards one another. So now, we're going to take the right arm and extend the right arm all the way up towards the ceiling. You're going to spin the right palm to the back of the room and place the right palm on the right shoulder. You're going to take the left arm, bring it out to the side. Glide the left palm down to the floor. Glide the left palm all the way up the back. Okay. Now let the right elbow begin to draw in towards the right ear. Let the left elbow begin to draw down towards the floor. Begin to hug the belly in. So as you press through the feet, allow the belly to hug in. Allow the left shoulder to draw, or the left outer arm to draw to the left armpit. Allow the right outer arm to draw to the right armpit. So you breathe here. All right, and then as you exhale, release. You're going to take the other side. So now the left arm extends up. Left palm comes to the low back. Right arm extends back. Right arm comes up the back. Grab hold of the fingers. If you can't grab hold of the fingers, grab hold of your t-shirt or a strap. Hug the elbows in towards each other. See that the left elbow lengthens up towards the ceiling. See that the right elbow lengthens towards the floor. So first we align. Feel the feet align. Feel the stabilization through the feet. Then we stabilize. We stabilize through the legs. So are the legs drawing up? Are they lengthening here? Can you feel that sense of stabilization through the body as you hug the belly in? Then you lengthen. So you feel that lengthening happening through the right and left sides of the chest, all the way through the left elbow. And then you release. Take the palms out to the sides. Hands come to the hips once again. We step the feet wide apart. And we spin both feet over to the right side of the room. This time, if you step your left foot out to the left, your right leg out to the right. Hands come to the hips here. So hips are about your right heel is in line with your right hip. Let's say that your left heel is in line with the left hip. You can always go heel to heel, but it's usually heel to heel or hip to hip. That's usually the stance that gives us the most stabilization in the pose. So first we start there. You see that the right hip, right knee, right shin is all in a line with the right foot. You see that the left heel is in line with the left buttocks. And then you turn the hips towards the front of the room. Now take your hands back to the buttocks. Begin to bend deeply into the right knee here. And I'd recommend lifting the right toes up off the mat. So as you bend into that right knee, if the toes come off the mat, the foot's in flexion, you can press down through the heel and the ball of the foot. Lengthen through the chest here. Good. Now keep pressing through that left heel. Keep drawing the left hip forward. And inhale, float those arms up towards the ceiling. As you float the arms up towards the ceiling, take the arms forward of the chest. Bring the arms forward in front of you. Wrap those arms up as you lift the arms up towards the ceiling. Good. So once again, now our stability is in the legs. So feel the left thigh drawing back. Feel the right buttocks drawing in. And feel the right shin moving back towards the right calf as you lift up. Then you elongate. So feel the left leg pressing down as you lift up through the left chest. Feel the right heel pressing down as you lift up through the right chest. Straighten through the right leg. Turn your feet back to center. Bring your hands to your hips. And then we're going to take the other side. Let's turn our feet out to start. Let's see that we have a left heel, left knee, left hip in one line. And then the right hip, right heel, right buttocks in another line. Bend deeply into the left knee. Lift those left toes up off the mat here. All right, so once again, actually before you do that, let's straighten through that leg. Let's align ourselves. So see that you have alignment in the left leg. Left leg is entirely straight. See that your right foot is turned in slightly. So the right foot being turned in is very important here. The hips begin to rotate here, so your alignment is almost neutral in the pelvis. Very important. Then from here, we stabilize. So as you bend into that left knee, I'd recommend lifting up those left toes here. The left shin is moving towards the left calf. The left thigh is moving towards the left hamstring. Left buttocks is hugging in, just like Warrior 2. As you press to the right heel, you feel the right hip drawing forward. Then you elongate. Raise the arms up towards the ceiling. I'd recommend taking the arms forward in front of you. widen the pinky fingers up towards the ceiling, and then raising the arms up and over the head here. Maybe bringing the fingers to touch, maybe even looking up towards those fingers as you lengthen here. Bring those hands back, or lengthen those hands up, straighten through the left leg, turn the feet in, and then bring the hands to the hips as you step the feet back in towards one another. Spin the palms to face the front of the room here as you breathe. Good. All right, from here, you're going to fold forward again. You're going to grab hold of your toes. If you can't grab hold of your toes, you're going to grab hold of your ankles here. And as you grab hold of your ankles, you're just going to bend the elbows and lean the chest forward. So first we align. See that your feet are either together or about hips-width distance apart, no wider than that. Second, you stabilize. Stabilize through the feet. Feel the calves moving towards the shins. Feel the feel the chest moving towards the thighs. Then you elongate. Feel as you press through the feet that elongation through the backs of the legs. Feel the chest elongating all the way to the crown of the head here. Take the hands to the hips, press through the feet. Inhale, peel up the chest, and find your way back into a standing pose. Okay, hands are on the hips again. Bring the feet wide apart. Once again, we're going to turn our feet out to the right side of the room this time. Now, if you have blocks, I'd recommend taking blocks and placing them on either side of your right foot. So I have one block here and one block here. So we take those blocks and we place them on either side of the right leg. And then we bring our hands back to our hips. Now, as you press through the left heel, draw the left hip back. As you press through the right ball of the foot, draw the right hip back. Begin to feel the alignment of the pose first. So it's still right heel to right buttocks, left heel to left buttocks. But the difference is our feet are a little closer together in this pose. So our feet are only 3 feet apart as opposed to 4 feet apart. Now, as you press through the left heel, draw that left hip forward. As you press through the right ball of the foot, draw the right hip back. Be here for a moment. So see that your legs are hugging in towards each other. Feel the outer legs hugging in. Feel the chest lengthening here. Good. Then begin to lean on forward, lean on forward, lean on forward, and take your hands right underneath the shoulders here. As you take your hands underneath the shoulders, begin to feel the right shin moving towards the right calf. Draw the right hip back. Draw the left hip forward. Good. Elongate. 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 That's it. And as you elongate here, just continuing to feel your breath, continuing to feel the length. So you press through the left heel, you draw the left side of the chest towards the right foot, and you continue to breathe here. As you continue to breathe, so you have your alignment down, now stabilization. Feel those legs hugging in towards each other. So we stabilize through the legs. The right hip, as you press through the right ball of the foot, the right hip draws back. As you press through the left heel, left hip draws forward. We stabilize through those legs. They're hugging in towards each other. Then we elongate. So through the chest, the left side of the chest lengthens over to the right side of the room. The right hip draws back, but the right chest still lengthens forward. And then from here, we put a bend in that right knee. We take our hands to the hips, and we turn our feet back to neutral, back to center. We take our feet, and we turn our feet over to the other side. So again here, we set up the pose first. So we have the setup. We set up stability of the pose. Feel the right hip drawing forward. Feel the left hip drawing back. Breathing here. So press through that right heel. Draw that right hip forward. Press through the left ball of the foot. Draw the left hip back. Lean forward, lean forward, lean forward, and release the hands onto the blocks. As you release the hands onto the blocks, press that right heel down. Take that right hip on forward. As you press through the left ball of the foot, draw the left hip back. Breathe here as you lengthen through both sides of the chest. See that you're pressing through the feet. So start with your alignment. The alignment's in the feet. The left hip, left knee is all in line. Right hip, right heel, all in line. And then from here, then you create neutral rotation in the hips. As you draw the left hip back, the right hip forward, you stabilize. So the legs are drawing towards one another here. You're lengthening through the legs. Then you elongate. You lengthen through the chest. You lengthen through the heart. You lengthen through the sternum. Again here, you're lengthening all the way the right side of the chest, all the way. Both shoulders are drawing back as you continue to lengthen the heart to the front of the room. Then from here, you bend the left knee slightly, bring the hands to the hips, spin the feet back to parallel, and then step the feet towards one another. We come back to Tadasana. So we always come back to Tadasana. This is our foundational pose, and we breathe here. Just continue to always come back to Tadasana pose. As you come back to Tadasana pose, you're going to take a block, and you're going to place a block in between your legs. So as you place a block in between the legs, you're going to align the feet once again. The feet are parallel. And then you stabilize the legs. So you feel both legs stabilizing through the ground as you feel the chest lifting up. The buttocks draws in, the belly draws in, the chest continues to lift up. And you elongate through the fingers. So this is called Urdhva Hastasana pose. We've been here before. So here, you can continue to lengthen as you bring the fingers in towards one another. Now begin to bend those knees. So as you bend the knees come forward, the shins come back. I'd recommend lifting up through the balls of the feet. And then you bring the hips on back. So send the hips back. Good. Now hug the belly in here and look up towards the fingers. Maybe the fingers touch above the head. And then you'll press through the knees, press the knees together, press the feet together, release the arms out to the sides. Excellent. We're going to do that one more time. So take the hands to the hips this time. Begin to bend the knees, bend the knees, bend the knees. So hug the thighs in towards each other. So we stabilize through the legs in this pose. We're stabilizing by drawing both thighs in. The back body actually grows long here. So you feel the back body opening up. Now as you sit down, the belly has to hug in and lift up towards the chest as you elongate through the arms. Then bring the fingers to touch here. Lengthen and look up. Good. Pressing down through the feet, straightening through the torso, releasing the arms down out to the sides. Finding your way back into Tadasana pose. Releasing this block all the way down into the side. Excellent. Okay. One more time, no props. If you can, bring the knees together. Bring the feet together. You're going to inhale. Raise the arms up towards the ceiling. So once again, feel your feet rooted, planted on the earth. Align the feet. So the feet are either hips width distance apart or feet are either touching. Feel the outer feet releasing down. Press down through the four corners of the feet. Continue to feel the legs aligning. So the legs are aligning directly over the center of the pelvis. Then as you bend the knees, you're going to begin to stabilize. So as you stabilize, maybe lift up the toes here as you press down through the heels and the balls of the feet and lift the chest. Keep drawing the legs in. Then you elongate. So wrap the outer arms in. Inhale, float the arms up. Draw the belly in and lengthen. Straighten through those legs. Take the arms out to the sides and release here. Okay. So now let's take ourselves and we're going to find our way back onto our mat. So now let's find our way into Adho Mukha Shavasana, downward facing dog. Turn the hands out slightly. Turn the heels out slightly. So first we align ourselves. We align ourselves through the hands. Spread the fingers wide apart. See that the fingers are growing towards the front of the mat. See that the forearms are lifting here towards the shoulders. And as you continue to breathe, see that the heels are lengthening to the back of the mat. See that the shins are growing towards the heels. So these counteractions that are happening, they're actually creating a stability in the pose. So as the arms, as the thigh, or rather as the shoulders, triceps rather, draw back, the thighs are also drawing back. So you can feel those actions, they're happening in the same direction. The belly is drawing in here, complementary actions, if you will. The belly is drawing in here, and feel the shoulder blades hugging in down the chest. You'll release the knees down to the mat here, and you'll sweep the legs forward in front of you. So we're going to move into our first seated posture called Baddha Konasana. So Baddha Konasana is taken by bringing the feet together and allowing for the feet to touch here as you lengthen through the chest. So Baddha Konasana, first part of the pose. As you take Baddha Konasana, first we align. So we align by bringing our feet together. Our feet are in line with the pelvis. The knees are wide apart. Then, as you begin to align the chest, you feel the tailbone pressing down into the earth, the crown of the head is. Then you stabilize. So you stabilize in this pose by drawing the feet towards one another. So even here, even though the toes are moving away, the balls of the feet are still pressing in towards each other. And that stabilization actually happens in the hips as well. So the thigh bones are drawing in towards each other, as well as the shin bones, the tibia and the fibia. They're drawing in towards each other as well. What that does is it creates an elongation through the center chest. So as that happens, your knees are practically in a diamond, and then you begin to lean forward, hinge forward here. It doesn't matter how much, but just that you're continuing to lengthen forward. And as you lengthen forward, the shoulders are drawing back. So the shoulders are drawing back down the spine as the heart is drawing forward here. Good. Continuing to lengthen and breathe. Now you're going to lift the chest up. You'll take your legs, and you're going to begin to extend your legs in opposite directions. The right leg draws to the right. The left leg draws to the left. And breathe here. This is called stabilization, Upavishta Konasana. Take the hands, bring the hands right along sides of, right next to the pelvis, and inhale, lift the chest up. So start by seeing that the right foot is in line with the right knee and the right hip. See that the left heel is in line with the left knee and the left hip. So both of these legs are in a line. This is called alignment. From here, we stabilize. We stabilize by allowing for the feet to be flexed, by allowing for the thighs to rotate down towards the earth, by allowing for the fingers to press down. And we elongate by feeling the legs pressing down, feeling the fingers pressing down, and lifting through the center chest. If you'd like, float the arms up towards the ceiling here. This is called Upavishta Konasana with Urdhva Hastasana, arms extended. So there's a tendency for us to lean down, to kind of sink down. Can you lift up through your side ribs to the fingertips? Now as you exhale, you're going to glide your right hand over the right leg. Maybe you grab onto the big toe mound of that foot. Maybe you grab hold of the outer shin of that foot. Either option is fine. You're going to begin to lengthen the chest all the way over to the right side of the room. You're going to take your left hand, place it behind the head, and begin to revolve the chest up towards the ceiling here. So press the left shin down. Press the left thigh down. Begin to look up towards that left elbow here. Now inhale, come back to center, come back to center, come back to center. You're back at center now. As you exhale, take the other side. So both feet are flexed. Thighs are pressing down. Shins are pressing down. Hand comes to the back of the head. And once again, begin to rotate here. So press down through the left shin. Press down through the left thigh. Begin to look up towards that right elbow. Press down through the right thigh as well. Breathe here. And then bringing your right hand down towards the mat. Good. From Upavishta Konasana, extend the arms up towards the ceiling again. So once again, there is a tendency in this pose for there to be a shortening on the front side of the body. So can you draw the belly in? Can you lift through those arms, and can you extend through those fingers here? That's it. And then as you exhale, glide forward, glide forward, glide forward. Maybe grab hold of the big toe mounds of both feet. Maybe grab hold of the shins of both feet or the thighs. From here, first we align. So the legs should be aligned because we've been here already for a moment. Then we stabilize. We stabilize by drawing the thigh bones down to the mat, by lengthening the chest forward. By feeling the legs extending here. And by lengthening the chest forward, then we elongate. We elongate by pressing down through the calves, down through the legs, lifting and extending up through the chest. So this is our elongation in this pose. Upavishta Konasana, wide angle pose. Breathe here as you flex both feet and lengthen through the chest. As you exhale, come back to center here. Begin to bring those legs back in. Begin to bring those legs back in. And extend the legs back to center as you find your way into Dandasana staff pose. Okay? So Dandasana staff pose, again, first we align. We align our feet with our knees, with our shin, with our hips, so our legs are in a straight line. Then we stabilize. We stabilize by feeling the shins pressing down towards the calves, feeling the thighs drawing down towards the hamstrings, and flexing the feet. We elongate by lifting the arms up towards the ceiling here. And then from here, you'll draw the right knee in. You'll bring the right knee in. Right knee comes to the inner left leg. And then once again, you're taking kind of a combination of two poses. So this is actually tree pose. You see the legs are tree pose, but you were taking Upavishta Konasana and mixing it with Dandasana with a bent knee. So that's kind of the combination of the poses. So you press, or Baddha Konasana, so you press the right foot into the left thigh, you press the left thigh into the right foot, you inhale, lift the chest up. Float the arms all the way up towards the ceiling here. So keep lengthening to the chest, keep lengthening to the heart, keep lengthening to the sternum, and then begin to hinge forward, and then begin to hinge forward, and then begin to hinge forward. Take the hands, place the hands around the foot, and begin to breathe here. So press the right foot into the left thigh crease, press the left thigh into the right foot, and begin to elongate here. So as we elongate, lengthening through the chest, lengthening through the heart, lengthening through the sternum here. Continuing to breathe as you walk the hands down the leg and continuing to breathe. And as you breathe here, once again, we have our alignment down, so we stabilize again. We stabilize through the left leg, we stabilize through the right foot, right hip, right thigh. So once again, right hip draws in, right thigh draws in, the femur bone's drawing into the hip, the tibia and fibia is drawing towards the foot, and then you're lengthening, your elongation here is the last part of the pose. You're lengthening through the chest, heart, and sternum. All right, you'll come back to center here. You'll extend that right leg on forward, and you'll do the same with the left side here. The left side here, once again, your left foot is in Baddha Konasana, so you're aligning first. Right leg in line with the right hip, right hamstring. Left foot is in Baddha Konasana, so it's in that cobbler's pose that we took earlier. Then here, you're pressing the left femur into the left hip. You're pressing the left tibia and fibia into the left foot. And then we are elongating. So once we have the stabilization, you could even walk the hands down that shin. You could walk the hands down the calf. You could walk the hands to the foot. Continue to lengthen here. So see that the left side of the foot continues to revolve to the right outer foot. Left side of the chest to the right outer foot. And breathe here. And then eventually you come on up and you extend through both legs. So again, we have our alignment here, fairly simple alignment. Just legs are straight and the pelvis is in line with the feet. Then we have our stabilization. So we stabilize by feeling the legs aligning here. We begin to press down the shins, we begin to press down the thighs, we begin to feel that the legs rooting down. As we do that, the feet are flexing. So this begins our elongation, and then the chest is lengthening. So we take our arms up towards the ceiling. Keep lengthening those arms up towards the ceiling. So even here, as we have this elongation in the body, continue to feel the side ribs lengthening up towards the fingers. So we're really elongating off of the trunk of the body, off of the lower trunk of the body, the lower part of the legs here. And then we hinge on forward, we hinge on forward, we hinge on forward, we take the hands, we bring the hands towards the feet or towards the shins or towards the calves, and we begin to breathe. So here, wherever you're extending from, start with your foundation. So see once again that the shins are pressing down and the thighs are pressing down. Keep those feet flexed, which means that the toes are spreading wide apart and the toes are moving towards the knees. Then through the elongation, you're lengthening through the chest here. The belly is softening. The belly is softening here. Then continue to breathe. So draw those elbows back, lengthen the heart forward, sternum forward, and release the head on down. Bring the hands to the shins. Scoot the hips forward. Scoot the hips forward and hug the knees into the chest here. All right? Hug the knees into the chest. Release the back body down and breathe. This is called Apanasana. As you take Apanasana, alignment's fairly simple. You're just knees are over the chest, knees are bent, feet are about hips-width distance apart. Just close the eyes here. It's a nice little alignment in this pose. And you'll hug your left knee in. You'll take your left foot over the right thigh, and you'll draw that right thigh in. You'll come into our, which is called resting pigeons pose, or thread the needle pose, and flexing through the right foot. So we first align ourselves so that right foot aligns with the right leg. Right knee is bent. Right knee is directly over the right thigh. The left knee is in line with the left hip. And then you're allowing the left outer hip to draw towards the right foot here. So you stabilize yourself by feeling the flexion in both of those feet. Seeing that the left knee is drawing away from the body. Seeing that the right knee is moving towards the body. And allowing for both sit bones to release on down. You elongate by allowing the shoulders to release down the mat, allowing the chest to lift up, and allowing for your lower back to lengthen towards the backs of the feet. And then we do the other side. So draw that right knee in. Bring the right knee over the left thigh crease, flexing through that foot, and allowing for the right leg to move away from us. So again, we start with flexion. So we start with allowing those left toes to be flexed, allowing the right knee to move away from us. As you draw the left knee into the center chest, allow, so the alignment's first. Left foot is in line with left knee, left hip. Left knee is bent to 90 degrees, right knee is bent out to the side over the right hip. And then from here, then we work towards the stabilization. We stabilize through the feet. Flex both feet here. See both feet flex, feel both feet flex, and allow here for that left hamstring to move to the left thigh. Allow for the left calf to move to the left shin. And then from here, in the right leg, you're letting the right outer hip rotate away from you. Then you elongate. You let both shoulders move down the mat. You allow for the center chest to lengthen up towards the ceiling. You breathe as you extend the back hip bones all the way to the backs of the knees. And then you release those legs down. Again, you hug the knees into the chest here. You take the arms out to the sides and breathe here as you move into a simple twist. Let the arms open out to the sides. And then come back to center and take the other side of the pose. So the knees move very close to the left elbow as you breathe here. And just continue to release here. This is called Jartha Parivartanasana, or simple twist. All right, come back to center again. Hug those knees into the chest. Gently release the feet on down. Turn the palms up towards the ceiling here as you breathe. Allow the breath to be long and slow here so that you can continue to release. The final minute of practice or so. So close those eyes. Just breathe here. And eventually you're going to take the knees into a bent position. Roll onto your right side. Gently, using your top hand, press your way up and coming into a seated position. Take the hands to the center chest. Release the chin towards the center chest, lifting the head. If you'd like to join me in a final Om to close class, please feel free to do so, taking a deep breath into the nostrils. Releasing the chin towards the chest, letting the palms come to the thighs, palms face up, gently lifting the head and softly opening the eyes. Thank you guys so much. I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day. I hope that you're well. I hope that you're happy. Namaste, yogis. So thank you guys again. If you guys want to come back, the next class that we have is going to be on Thursday, June the 11th at 6 a.m. in the morning. Not to 6 a.m. It's not 6 a.m. to 6 a.m. It's 6 a.m. to 6:55 a.m. So I hope that you guys can join us for that class. Yes, we'll be doing live streaming yoga every day. So thank you guys so much. I hope you guys are enjoying these practices. Once again, my name is Jason Gorenstein. This is our Vinyasa flow. This is our Hatha Yoga level 1. And we do this every Tuesday and Thursday at 6 a.m. as well as Sunday morning at 10:15 a.m. So hopefully you guys can join us for a practice if you weren't able to make this one. And all the classes are live streaming on Facebook and are uploaded onto YouTube. So thank you guys so much. Have a wonderful day. Namaste, yogis. Thank you.